Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your blizzarding, snowbound surfaces. How are you all? You're doing very well. Yes, those attentive of you will now realise that A, not only is it snowing and I'm outdoors, but B, I'm still wearing the blue boiler suit of Michael Myers, which I showed you in a couple of previous videos very recently, because I wanted to show you the mask I've been working on. Now, it's not finished. And I'm afraid part of the reason for that is what you see fluttering down in front of the lens right now and liberally decorating this lovely, luscious blue boiler suit. Snow. I wanted to create a new mask. We have the Halloween 2018 Michael Myers mask. We are all awaiting what's going to be the new mask from Halloween Kills. Of course, by now, if the world had been okay and no pandemics, we'd have seen the movie, we'd have it on Blu-ray and Ultra HD, and we'd have new masks as well, and probably a couple of variants. Now, so my solution to this was to buy another one of the Tots Halloween Michael Myers 2018 masks, but the one called the Bloody Edition with the bullet hole in his cheek, his right cheek. And everyone was going like, oh, they shot him in the shoulder, it wasn't in the face, it's all wrong. No. Now you've watched it properly, you can see it's in the cheek. How cheeky. I can't do it. Gotcha. Oh. And it's a good moment in the movie. In a movie that's full of disappointments. But there you go. So I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? I'll buy the Trick or Treat Studios Bloody Edition, which is just the same old mask as the 2018 version. Just it's got a big gaping wound here, a big rip in the latex and blood coming down. But other than that, it's exactly the same. So let's think about Halloween Kills. We've got lots of imagery of him getting out of the Strode house, which has been set ablaze, and the big fire trap that Laurie set for him. You know, it's not an escape room, it's a trap and all that. But of course, the fire services and emergency people get in there, and we've got those tantalising images of Michael standing there with the Halligan tool, or Halligan bar as it's called, and everyone's going, oh, the Halligan bar, you know. Well, yeah, what it is, it's a great bit, it's a pick come wedge that fire services use, and obviously if they get in there and try to free him, my money's on the fact he's already got out, because he would have melted to a frazzle by the time they got there. The whole thing was on fire. He was on fire. So, unless of course he's supernatural, because only a supernatural being could withstand being hit by a car, being stabbed, being shot, all these things, and set ablaze, and still, even with the fingers blown off of one of his hands, still half his cheek blown away, still go on a kill crazy rampage. But hey, you know, that's old news. He's supernatural. Get over it. So obviously he's going to get out and he's going to take out, we already know this from the leaked reports from the test screenings, the highly successful test screenings, that he does take out the emergency team. Well, hey, come on now. And that shot of him standing there in the doorway of the ablaze Strode abode, he's got the Hannigan tool, which he's clearly been using, because what it is, it's a wedge and a pick. It's used to take down doors, to prise up concrete or any other heavy obstruction to get to victims, and the pick is there to chop through wood, to chop through concrete, brickwork. The wedge lifts. But you imagine that in the hands of Michael Myers, or the 1.5 hands of Michael Myers, and he can do an enormous amount of damage. Bear in mind, folks, Michael, where is he? Keep him in your soul. He's always there. So what have I done with this mask, which is sitting beside me here, getting soaked? I'm doing all the things you're not supposed to do with one of your glorious and sometimes quite expensive latex mask. Let's just see now. Now he has got wet, and let's face it, we've never seen Michael in the snow, have we? But then again, you don't really get snow at Halloween, do you? Unless you're in Antarctica or Iceland. So, anyway, right, now, folks, here we have the Tots 2018 Michael Myers Bloody Edition. Look at that. There you go. Right, now, you can see there, It's the same paint scheme, pretty much the same hairdo. The sculpt is exactly the same. It is the exact same mask. All they've done is that you should be paying less because they've ripped a big hole in it. So you're getting less mask for your money. But you've got the gaping wound here and the blood dripping down. Now, what I have neglected to do so far is to put some black mesh inside there, because when you wear this, they will get around this in the film because of lighting and shadow and all that. You don't want to see his cheek, but if you're going to wear that mask, then your cheek pops through. It does, it's true. And it kind of ruins the effect, I think it does anyway. So your way around that would be to put some black material in there, just some black mesh. So if you're going to go out cosplaying, or you're going to put it on display, unless you've got some good lighting in there, you need to try and mask the fact that you can see into it. It makes it more mysterious, of course. Maintains that supernatural element. Aye. So, what have I done to this mask? Well, he's clearly, we can see from the photos that have come out in Total Film and Empire Online, some of the close-ups and the behind the scenes photos as well, the mask on one side clearly is melted and burned and crispened. So the mask that you're going to get this year from Tots is going to be a version of that. And let's be honest, they've already got that mask because the film was due out last year. So that mask is already made. It's sitting there waiting to be advertised and then put out there on sale for all of us avid collectors. So what have I done? Because this will be a version. This is my take on it. And I have christened this not the Halloween Bloody Edition. This is Halloween Michael Myers mask. Strode damage. Because the Strode girls have done this to him. He's been shot in the face. He's been set on fire. He's been beaten and abused. The things poor psychos have to go through. They're just doing their job. So, what have we got here? Right. Now, I know folks, there's snow landing on the lens, but it's adding a bit of atmospheric, hardly Halloween atmospheric, but it's adding some meteorological atmospherics. Look at this guy. He's burnt on one side of the face, which is clear. We see that in the photos from the movie, that he is burnt on one side. To what degree, we don't yet know. Is it blackened? Is it crispened? Is it worn away, Rob Zombie style? So it's just like another parchment covering of leathery skin on his face? I don't know. But this is my take on it. Now, what you can see there, folks, is I've been burning stuff. Cardboard. You know, a lot of things arrive here. A lot of stuff in boxes. And what to do with all the boxes when your recycle bin is full to the brim? Well, burn them. So there's a little burny bin just over there. And of course, I hit upon the idea, the minute this arrived, I thought, right, okay, I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to smudge it all up with ash, with fresh ash. That's a great phrase for Sean Connery. Oh, ash, fresh ash. And smear it all over one side of his face. And then I might rip it up a little bit. I might put some dirt and stuff in the hair because I want him to be, it's almost like a Harvey Two-Face, a dark man, a Jekyll and Hyde. You've got the pure Michael on one side, albeit with a bloody cheek, and then you've got the scalded, burnt, hellish side. Because that's pretty much, I think, how you're going to see it. At least I'd hope so. So, what have I done with that? Well, the problem was, well, as you can see, snow. The idiot here, having first thought of the idea, oh, in the morning I'll do a video and I'll just quickly rub it round with the ash from the fire pit, the fire bin. Of course, between me thinking that and then going out to do it, it had snowed, it had then turned to sleet, then hail, then rain, and it was just a blackened mush in the bin. God damn it. And then in a brief let up, I bent some more. Oh, that'll work. Da-da-da-da. It snowed again. But what did I forget to do? Yes, come on now. Because you've got more brains than me. I didn't put the lid on the bin, did I? No, I didn't, did I? No, I didn't. So, what have we done here? Okay, so I've darkened it with the ashen mouldy stuff from the bin. Just smeared it all over. I haven't ripped up the mask, I haven't done that. But I have put some glue on it, and I have sprinkled bits of ash and dirt to give it a ripped up sort of quality, to give it some of these contours and things here. And yes, those with really good eyesight have spotted the fact that there is some bubble wrap. I had the bright idea of maybe ripping up shreds of bubble wrap, and I think it's a good idea actually. I think it will work with a bit more time on it, and just adhere those, because A, it's plastic for one thing, and it kind of shrivels up and melts a bit. So don't forget, these things are, if they're on fire, that's what they're going to look like anyway. They're going to crisp up and melt. So, but all it is, it now looks like he's had a bit of a shaving cut, and he's stuck one of them little silly plasters on his face. So I intend to cover that up and smear it up, but it does give some contour, some definition to a mask, which would otherwise, all the indentations, as you can see there, and there's plenty of them on this side, there's plenty as well. I think it's a great mask. I've always said so. I do love this mask because it's also, it fits better as well. A lot of the masks are just, I've always said this, they're just too big for many people. Unless you've got a huge bloody head, you know, a big Boris Karloff style head, then you're kind of like screwed. But this is a nice tight fitting one, so I do like it for that. And I like the paint job on it. I like the detail. I've always maintained that. I know some people have their issues with it, but personally I don't. I've always enjoyed it. And now I've got to work on one as well. And this, folks, as I will say again, is a work in progress. It's because of this, I wanted a more grey cast to it. It's looking very blackened. Although, to be fair, I'm kind of liking that blackened look, because who's to say that, having been in a big house inferno, our Strode damage boy here isn't going to be a bit more blackened round the chops? Maybe it's true. I don't know. But so, folks, yeah, what I've done, you can see there, I will cover that up. That will look better next time. And there as well, there's a bit of plastic bubble wrap has gone on there, which will be covered up and smeared in with ash and other detritus from the bin. And other bits and bobs are literally just stuck on. They are bits of ash, bits of dirt, bits of whatever. You know, he's gone through hell, this guy. That mask is not going to look good. Don't forget, in the story of this trilogy, this new trilogy, it's 40 years later. The mask is the same mask, supposedly. Well, real latex masks don't age like that over 40 years, that span. They don't do it. They just don't. But, hey, in this saga, we'll go with it. Of course we will. And it looks great, and it does have that kind of sort of decomposed flesh sort of look to it, an aged quality, as Michael Myers would have. I think it's wonderful. But is it still snowing, or has that turned to rain? Yeah, it's still snowing, but it's really slackened off. It's a shame, because later on, if the snow had remained and stuck down and got quite heavy, I then could have done McCready in the Thing. I could have done some more cosplay for you. But no, we're stuck with Michael. Michael in the snow. So I'll show you again a bit more close up. The stuff I've stuck on his ear there as well. Now, I would assume that some of the hair on one side is going to be burned away. I haven't done that. I haven't chopped into the hair as yet. I've just muddied it up and stuck some ash and stuff in there. And I think that gives it quite a good kind of demeanour as well, a good kind of appearance. It looks like stuff has just settled in as he's walking out. Ash and bits of the burnt timber from the house are still alighting upon him. And don't forget, these coveralls, these boiler suits, are actually to a degree fire resistant, to a degree. You know, obviously a full inferno, it won't last that long. You're going to be completely barbecued. But, in fact, you're going to be steamed inside it. But, that's a kind of logical reason why he wouldn't be thoroughly burned, because the suit will give him a few more seconds, maybe a minute or two to get through. So I'll go with that. Latex, however, would not. It would shrivel and fuse to his face. But there we go. So, bloody cheek. Now, as I say, I would stick some mesh in that, some black mesh, or just some black material. It doesn't really matter, so long as you take away. Well, I'll show you, because this is how it would look. Now, half of this stuff's going to fall off now. You watch, because as I say, it's a work in progress. And by the way, for those of you that like to see these things, inside we have the pumpkin there. Can you see that? I'll try to get that right. We have the pumpkin. we have a number, and the number of the beast is the number of a man, and the number is 666. It isn't. It's 1039. So there you go. That's not too bad, is it? Not too bad at all. So, right, we're going in. This stuff will probably all fall off my face now. Off the mask, I mean. See, my cheek. Now, does that not ruin the overall effect? Especially if you've got chubby cheeks like me, which goes, woo! I'll suck it in. As the actress said to the bishop. So, Michael just took out the fire brigade. Now he's none too happy. Those girls who he didn't even know who they were, didn't know they were the Strodes, didn't remember any of that stuff, just arrived at the Strode house pretty much by accident. Now he's angry. Now he wants them. So, I'll have to pretend I've got the Halligan tool, because I haven't. Well, folks, what do you think about that? I actually really like it. Such an angle like that. Yeah, that's a real knife, that one. I have the prop knife, but those of you who've been watching all these videos for many years now will know that the spook in Kilt-Mansion has nicked, stolen my prop knife, amongst many other things as well, for his secret hoard of supernatural movie merchandise. Look at that. Folks, apart from the fact you can see that's clearly a bit of plastic there, that looks really good. And I'm not just saying that because I made it. Look at the cheek. The cheek of it. Folks, I'm absolutely made up with that. I didn't think I'd say that. I thought I was going to, oh God. Yeah, it's me. And now it's the lion from the Wizard of Oz. How many characters can this guy be? We've had Michael Myers, we've had Sean Connery, and now we've got the Cowardly Lion. Yeah, I'm actually made up with that. That is infinitely better the way it's turned out and the way it looks than I thought it was going to. I thought, well, look, you're a gammy-handed sod. You know, you're not the most practical of people. I always have these grandiose ideas, these plans, these things. If I showed you the garden now, being an ex-landscape gardener, I know, this is even before the Marines and all that kind of stuff, and the martial arts and the book writing. Oh, besides all of that stuff, yeah, I was a fully trained landscape gardener. Oh, yes. You wouldn't know it if you looked at the grounds of Kilt-Mansion, which is why I employ people to do it. Oh yeah, I don't pay them though, that's why they haven't done anything. See, once again, no brains. But, so yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to, I've always got the ideas, but the actual practicalities of it, pretty naff. But that's turned out better than I thought. As I say, If you want to practice that yourself, and I'm no expert, there could be guys out there going, you don't put that on a latex mask. Oh, don't do that. Don't leave it out in the rain and the snow. You're an idiot. That won't be there tomorrow. It'll be just like a little disc of blobby latex. That's all you'll have left of it. But I've done it, so hey. But so what I did, just as a recap, I got the Halloween Bloody Edition mask, right? So you're going to have that in this movie. You see it in the teaser trailer. He picks that mask up. Why he's lost the mask, I don't know. But in that teaser trailer, you see him walk towards it. He bends down, he picks it up, and it's on the side of the bloody cheek. It's on that side, lying there like that. So you don't see that side. Now, it's lying on the deck, so it's going to be covered in earth and rubbishy bits from the ground. So, see, I'm ahead of the curve. But so you're going to have that bloody cheek on regardless. So get the Bloody Edition Michael Myers mask, or carve up one of your own. Hey, but I don't recommend ripping into latex yourself. So, and then I used a fire bin, fire pit, burnt some cardboard, got ash, and I rubbed it all over that side as well. I also, with a Sharpie and even an ink pen as well, just made some slight more deeper depressions, saw some more emphatic ridges with a darker shadow in them, just a little bit to give me a bit of a guideline as to which bits to darken, because I don't know if you noticed there, but I wanted to try and capture like sort of like a couple of streaks. The FOD, the famous Halloween 2 T, which is on the head, where he's been shot and burned and all sorts, fallen off balconies and everything, walked through plate glass doors. There's what they call the T on the head, which I've got that mask and I've pretty much done it the way it looks in the movie. Not the way you get it when you buy it, but you can add to it certainly. So I've tried to incorporate a bit of that just for my own purposes. So smearing, you've had ink pen, you've had a bit of a Sharpie in there, not much, do not go overboard on that whenever you do, just to give some more contours and definition and shadow. A good scooping of what turned out to be soggy, mushy ash, smeared it all over, rubbed it through the hair on one side, then bit of glue, bit of latex glue, dab that on the mask and sprinkle some more of the ash and the burnt detritus and just stick it down on there, so you've got these contours, these ridges, just this sort of three-dimensional effect you've given to the burn, and that's pretty much it. And then obviously come out in the air the snow, which is now stopped. So now you're going to get that incessant dripping as it all just begins to turn into just water. Duh. But so once again I'll show you, and you know, an optional extra which you can do, and in fact I do recommend it, because I do like it, except for the fact that I now have to really work on it. But then again, it's all part of the plan. You can see the bubble wrap there is kind of glistening, kind of obvious. That's the one thing that I would try to darken that. But you can put it on because it gives you a bit more depth and a bit more burnt up, crispy quality to it. I'll put money on the fact that the mask in the movie will look a little bit like that. On that side. That side will look nothing like that. But you never know. You never know. Hopefully it will. Look, you can see a bit's flaked off there, but that's part of it. You could, I mean, just burn some cardboard, or even just, if you've got a garden, just get some dust and some bit of soil and just throw it on. Get some glue on there and just throw it on. You know, see which way the dice rolls, and you'll get this crispy. That's actually annoying me that now. Kind of wish I'd covered that up a bit more before doing it, but you do get the gist. You do get the gist. And but I like the other bits which have stayed and remained. And even just the colouring alone, it gives it a unique sort of quality. Yeah. Hello. Goodbye. Awesome. Folks, I have been and always shall be Kilt-Man. I have been and always shall be trying to get some of the glue off my fingertips, which has now got ash and dirt and soil glued onto my skin. But hey ho, We suffer for our art. So, folks, there you go. Oh, and the ear. Make sure some of it's come off there, but because obviously dickhead here's left it out in the rain and the snow. But if you crisp up the ear a bit as well, I think that would be a good idea. That's going to suffer a bit, I would say. But don't really bother with the cheek wound, because I'm not sure how that's going to change. Just might get dirtier, that's all. He's hardly going to go and stitch it up, is he? John Rambo style. So, folks, anyway, there you go. Let me know what you think of that, whether you think it's appalling what I've done, having spent all that kind of money. That kind of looks a bit too obvious now. Might need to smear that in a bit, but you totally get the gist, and you're in control. You can do whatever you want. Personally, when I wore that before, I liked that look, that crisping look. So, there you go, folks. Keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. If you can't wear a kilt, wear a boiler suit. And I'm going to see you all